Our minuscule bathroom left little room for much of anything, so a corner sink seemed like the best idea. So they do make sinks for a corner, but unfortunately they don't make a lot of mirrors for corners nor lights for the corners. So this big open space above the sink needs some help. So my wife decides that setting up two mirrors at a 90-degree angle from each other would probably fit nicely above the sink, but still doesn't solve our light problem. So my solution involved creating a triangular box that will be mounted to the wall in the corner on which I can mount my light. Now the box itself I would have to design, and I would have to make it so that the piece that's mounted onto it, which is about 16 inches wide, is going to fit in there but not be so far off the wall that people smash their heads into it when they're washing their hands. Now begins the interesting part. How big to make this actual triangular piece? I had toyed around with a couple of different measurements and then was trying to decide what would work, and eventually rested on making the one side of the triangular box 10 inches. But I had to decide how big my pieces were going to be that I was going to cut, and if that was going to be wide enough to make the front of the light fit in. Enter the mathematics. So we have a right triangle, and in a right triangle, Pythagorean theorem always works. So here, if we have the one leg being 10 inches, we can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are both 10 in this case. And when we solve our equation, our c, or the front of our box, then would have to be square root of 200, which if we throw that into our calculator, turns out to be about 14.1 inches. Now, besides Pythagorean theorem, we also have the option of using special right triangles. In this case, this is an isosceles right triangle, otherwise known as a 45-45-90 triangle. And in the case of a 45-45-90 triangle, all you have to do is take the leg of the triangle and multiply by the square root of 2. So in this case, 10 times the square root of 2 is about 14.1, which should be the same thing we found by other means. So after the measurements were all confirmed, I was able to put all the pieces together, cover it with drywall, put a hole in the front, pull the wiring from its original location on the sidewall through to the actual light, plug everything in, get everything painted, and voila, a working bathroom and a happy spouse.